Thanks for joining me today. You know, there are a lot of people out there in positions of authority or leadership, and they're just not getting it done for whatever reason. Maybe it's one reason, maybe it's several, who knows. Each situation is different. But the bottom line is, there are a lot of leaders out there that are just not making the impact that they need to make. They're not obtaining the goal. They're not creating the high performance teams that they need to have. And so along with that comes a bit of hurt. These leaders eventually over time become hurt because they can't make that U-turn and get that progress and success that they were looking for originally. They can't seem to turn the boat around, turn the ship around and sail in the right direction. So again, with that comes a lot of hurt. And for a lot of us who work for or with leaders like that, that hurt most of the time spews onto the team. And that's not fair. But here's the thing. There's one big important lesson that those leaders have not learned. In order to be the leader that you want to be and be the leader that people want to follow, the most important thing you need to understand is leaders know how to serve. That's one of the keys to great leaders' success, is learning how to serve. You have a team in place to help you get to where you need to be. You have to serve them. What am I saying? What I'm telling you is every member on your team has a skill that they bring to the table. Your job is to assess the skills and see what are the parts they need to make them better. See, here's a basic part. Leaders build other leaders. See, as a leader, you need to look at your team as a team of leaders, not just a team. These are people that you're going to be molding and shaping, and eventually they will become leaders. So not only do you need to understand what they have, you need to help them get what they don't have so that they can be the person or the leader that they need to be or will eventually be or become. And at the same time, this is how you get your high performance teams. When you pour into your team, when you assess your team and you look at them and you say, okay, this is what you need. This is what you need. I'm going to help you get what you need so that you can go to the next level. See, that's leadership, serving your team so that your team can be the high performing team you need it to be and obtain the goals that you're set out to obtain. That's leadership. Next thing is, actually there's two things. Once you have leaders that have a high performing team, at this point you've got two kinds of leaders. You've got a smart leader and you have a lazy leader. The lazy leaders take the team that's high performing and they try to hold them and hinder their growth for as long as they can because they don't want them to get away because that team is making them look good. That's lazy leadership, in my opinion. That's lazy leadership. Like I said earlier, leaders build other leaders. That team has a shelf life. It's only a matter of time before they're going to get to the point where they've gotten everything they need to have, and they've done everything they could do on that team, and they've hit the ceiling. And now it's time for them to branch out and become leaders in their own right. Smart leadership understands this, and that's why succession planning is so important. You need to understand your team has a shelf life. So when it gets to the point where members on your team are at the point where they're ready to move on, it's time to bring in another person so that they can trade off information and mentor and get the new person up to speed. So that when your original teammate is now ready to move on, you have somebody in place to keep the continuity going, to keep the high performance going, so that you don't lose anything. That's smart leadership. Don't be lazy with your leadership. Be smart. We're supposed to pour into people. We're supposed to build other leaders. That's our job. Let's not be lazy about that. Build leaders. Help people grow and go. All right? That's my time for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, I have several others like this on my website at chadbumgarner.co. Please feel free to go out and check out those videos. And I also have some blogs out there too with great encouraging and empowering information for you as a leader. Again, thanks so much for joining me. And as always, remember, great leadership equals great results. How are you leading?